What is going on, guys? I actually jumped on here to record every single team's NFL draft grade, and I came across this McShay'S Best 2023 NFL Draft Value Picks for all 32 teams. Now, I am an ESPN Plus subscriber, so I kind of wanted to jump on this opportunity to give you guys this article for free for those who are not ESPN subscribers. So, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I have 451 subscribers at the moment of this video recording. I'm on my way to 1,000. That is the goal by the start of the NFL season. So, if you could support the channel in any way, it is greatly appreciated. With that being said, let's jump into this one. All right, you got Todd McShay. It was a wild 3 days in Kansas City. Record 43 trades. Crazy. In all, 86 of my top 100 were drafted, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. He's doing the best pick of every single team. So this is based on value, guys. So he's actually going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys. DeMarvion Overshown. Okay, round 3, pick 90. Finding more options at inside linebacker has a trickle-down impact for the Cowboys. They took Micah Parsons in round 1 of 2021 as an inside backer, but injuries pushed him into edge rushing role, which he now has 26.5 sacks. So let's be honest, that is an absolute blessing. My video is, I'm looking real white here. Sorry. Overshown has tremendous range. That's what jumps out when first watching his tape. He flies around the field, has enough quickness to spy quarterbacks, and can cover tight ends and running backs. Overshown has 50 games of experience under his belt and coming off an 89 tackle, 4-sack campaign. Dallas was 17th in run defense last year, 4.4 yards per carry allowed, and Overshown, a first-round defensive tackle, Mozzie Smith out of Michigan, should help there as well. So he's saying the Cowboys, Overshown is their best value pick. Now we're going to move on to the New York Giants. I'm going to be shocked if this isn't John Michael Schmitz. Yep. Center, round 2, 57, John Michael Schmitz, center out of Minnesota. Wasted no time in attacking their needs. And as much as I really like the Deontay Banks pick and Jalen Hyatt on days 1 and 2, this one is clear. I said it as well. It's Schmitz, who will be a 10-year starter for New York. He was my second center and a top 50 prospect. So top 50 prospect, they got him at 57, okay? And his tape is a treat to watch. Schmitz has the mirror and slide quickness to take away interior bull rushers and the power to open lanes in the run game. I know running back Saquon Barkley is happy about this pick. After Nick Gates went to Washington, there was a big hole at center. And the Giants line wasn't at all spectacular to begin with. Save for tackle Andrew Thomas. Schmitz allowed just 1 sack over nearly 1,000 career pass block snaps. Nice work by the Giants here. I actually will be putting out their draft grade in the next couple days. I'm going to be recording it right after this video. This is a home run pick for me. I agree with this. This is probably their best pick of the entire NFL draft. I don't know how to get rid of this. Look, I look pasty. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, this is kind of obvious. Yeah, he was supposed to go number 1. Nolan Smith could have been here, but Jalen Carter was supposed to go number 1. Eagles, Jalen Carter. I mean, right off the bat, this is arguably the most talented player in the draft class. The Eagles got him at 9. He was an outstanding first-step explosion, powerful hands, and flexibility as an interior pass rusher. The toolbox is full in that area, even if the production hasn't come just yet. Even while playing on one of the most loaded defenses in college football history, he stood out often. Now, there's, of course, the off-the-field aspect and blah, 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 and why he fell and all that. Veterans such as Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox will help him adjust in the NFL, and it's convenient that the chunk of the Georgia defense is in Philly with him. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Kelee Ringo, Nolan Smith, and now him as well. Crazy. Why this is a crazy pick? Cox is 32 years old and back for just 1 year. And given how much emphasis general manager Howie Roseman puts in the building from the trenches, this selection sets the Eagles up with a solid duo up the middle going forward with Jordan Davis and him. Okay? This is a solid duo. Davis is a massive run stopper while Carter can get after the QB. There's a nice little hiccup right there. I don't agree with this Washington one, but I'm very interested to see what he has to say here. Emmanuel Forbes, Mississippi State, round 1, pick 16. He's 166 pounds, so I'm a little whatever. I had this match in my final mock draft, and the scheme fit works well here. Forbes is at his best in off coverage where he can use his fast eyes and recognition skills to jump routes and create turnovers. And wouldn't you know it, the Commanders play a ton of off coverage. He's only 166 pounds, and that lack of bulk shows up against the run. But he's also 6'1" with 32.25-inch arms, runs a 4.35. I get it. But look at the receivers he's going to have to match up against. And, come on. I don't know. I know he's doing off ball, but whatever. Or off coverage. The Commanders' pass defense was solid last season, recording the league's second best completion percentage and allowing 10th best yards per dropback. The area where they really struggled, though, creating interceptions. Washington had just 9 all season, more than just 4 other teams. Only 4 of those came from corners. But the Commanders just landed the draft class best ball hawk. Okay. Well, the reason why I say value it was a no is because Gonzalez was there, and I honestly think Gonzalez could have fit in every scheme. But whatever. Let's go to the NFC North. Yeah. Zach Pickens in round 3 was a really good pick for the Bears. Defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Matt Eberflus's defense relies on a good penetrating 3 technique up the middle, and that's Pickens. We're talking about a unit that totaled 20 sacks in 2022, which was last. While Pickens only had 2.5 sacks last season, his explosion, first step quickness, and power suggest he can be more disruptive than his numbers suggest. Great performance at the combine, ran a 4.89, jumped 9'8" at 291 pounds. I will say the Bears could have addressed the 3 technique spot in round 1 if they stayed at 9 with Jalen Carter. But, and I'm not sure Chicago needed to pick two defensive tackles. Florida, Gervon Dexter. I like Dexter. I actually thought it was a pretty good value, but especially when a scooped up run stuffer, Andrew Billings in free agency. But Pickens is a different kind of player. Oh, and shout out to Chicago for grabbing Texas running back Roschon Johnson in round 4 and Minnesota cornerback Terrell Smith in round 6. Roschon Johnson is a sleeper pick, guys. He could be really good. He was just overshadowed by Bijan. This kid could be really good. Let's move on to the Lions. Yeah, I expected this. Hendon Hooker, round 3, 68. Before I even read this, I just read the first 3 letters. Detroit took heat. They took heat for their first round selections. Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell was a little bit of a reach. The rest of the draft, they actually did really well. But Hendon Hooker to them in the 3rd is honestly ridiculous value because Jared Goff is getting old. How much longer he has left to play, we have no idea. But you're going to bring in Hendon Hooker, who tore his ACL in November. Now he could take even more time. There's no rush. He can learn behind him. He's in a pass-friendly scheme. Come on. And here it is. Ready? And if Detroit wants to move on from Goff after 2023, his dead cap is only $5 million at that point. This pick gives Lions GM Brad Holmes options. So, look, Hooker was in the round 1 conversation, but the Lions were able to get him in the middle of day 2. He was literally in round 1 conversation. They got him in round 3. This is a home run pick. This is freaking awesome. This is awesome. This is one of my favorite picks of the NFL draft. Really? Most value pick in round 2. I don't know if I would have said this about Jayden Reed, but he knows apparently more than I do, so let's read it. Get it? All right, whatever. Jayden Reed to the Packers, Michigan State wide receiver, round 2, pick number 50. Reed is fun to watch, and he was the most dynamic receiver down in Mobile, Alabama in January during the Senior Bowl week. Only 5'10", 187, but he's versatile, explosive, and savvy in his routes. While he had only 636 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns in 22, Reed has above-average ball skills and went for over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns in 21. The Packers are getting a reliable pass catcher with big play ability, underrated speed, and impressive acceleration. At this point, we shouldn't be too surprised that Green Bay skipped on pass rushers in round 1. They have a knack for finding good pass catchers on day 2 in Christian Watson. Packers can't lean on Aaron Rodgers to get it done anymore. So, Alan Lazard and Robert Tonyan left town in free agency. Getting Jordan Love some help was crucial. The pair of tight ends that they picked as well. But apparently he just loves what Reed brings to the table. I have to look back. In my opinion, which is not a professional opinion, I would say his opinion is probably more professional. I just thought there was a little more value on the board there. But, yep, this is a huge pick. Huge pick. Jordan Addison, the Minnesota Vikings. Why do I love this? Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC. Round 1, pick number 23. KJ Osborne is the only returning receiver not named Justin Jefferson. What does that mean? Oh, who cracked 180 receiving yards last season. And he had only 650. Adam Thielen went to the Panthers. Okay? Crazy. Addison, 5'11", 173. Addison's a small slot receiver who knows how to get separation, hit top speeds in a flash, and then displays the instincts necessary to create after the catch. 59 balls for 875 yards and 8 touchdowns last season. But he was dominant the year before. 100 passes, catching 100 passes, almost 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns at Pitt. I'll also call out getting UAB's Dwayne McBride in round 7. The late flyer, what is that? On my number 141 prospect could pay off as running back depth if the Vikings decide to release Dalvin Cook. Apparently, there's still the rumors that they're still trying to ship him away. So, I like that pick. But Jordan Addison, man, it is the perfect pick to come in and replace Adam Thielen. You got Justin Jefferson, who's the do-it-all receiver. We all know that. He's proven that time and time again. But you're going to bring in Jordan Addison to come in and play the slot. And realistically, he's that guy that's going to run and get you those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, no problem. All the defensive backs, the safeties over top are always going to have to keep an eye on Justin Jefferson. That's not going to change, but this kid over the middle is going to be deadly. He is so good with his route running. Atlanta Falcons. Really? Really? There are 2 camps on this pick. There are the Kuipers of the world who won't like it because it's a running back in the top 10. We all heard this rule by now, and I get it. The position is devalued in 2023, and we saw evidence as to why just this past season with the same team. Tyler Algier from the 5th round went to get 1,000 yards rushing. That's why I wasn't really a fan of this pick, but whatever. But come on, Robinson is a different kind of player and has the chance to be truly special. He is my highest graded running back since Saquon Barkley in 2018 and finished number 2 on my board. The Falcons have plenty of needs, but they often go with the best player available approach. And that's certainly what they did here. Robinson can dominate in Atlanta's run-heavy offensive scheme right out of the gate. Piled up 1,580 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns on the ground last season, and was one of the nation's most effective backs in the pass game. I mean, Robinson's a do-it-all running back. He's going to be crazy. But let's see. His 91 forced missed tackles led the country by a significant margin last season. Simply put, Robinson is elite and in the perfect offense. So I'm okay with the use of a top 10 pick here. In fact, I'm excited about it. Todd McShay, he tends to have... I mean, him and Mel Kiper agree on a good amount, but him and Todd McShay and Mel Kiper evaluating certain positions, I'm going to say they're very different. Mel Kiper does not respect the running back position as told. Todd McShay does. And honestly, if you can get the chance to go back and look at both of those two big boards, you can see clearly the positions and everything that these two really vary on. I'm one that you shouldn't be taking a running back in the top 10. Bijan is probably the only exception. Not to this team. Not with Tyler Algier. I think he could be your bell cow back. But let's see how honestly, he's probably going to prove me wrong. And I'm going to say that right here in this recording, in this video, he's probably going to prove me wrong. I mean, yeah, the Panthers' best pick was Bryce Young. Okay. Moved up 9 spots, getting their franchise QB of the future. Bryce Young, round 1, pick 1. I mean, come on. Best QB in the draft. As Young, he has a chance to be a top-tier NFL quarterback. No moment is too big for him, and he plays with such composure even when the play is crumbling around him. He quickly gets through his progressions. He has the movement traits to navigate pressure and create off-platform to display the touch ball placement and release to make any throw. Threw for 79 touchdowns with just 12 interceptions over the past 2 seasons. Veteran QB Andy Dalton, and a QB-oriented coach in Frank Wright, there to help him out. This was definitely their best pick. This was awesome. I really like the Jonathan Mingo pick in round 2. Dude is a stud. And honestly, they did the right thing, and they went and got Adam Thielen. Like, they're really building this team around Bryce Young. They're setting him up. This offense has potential to be a lot of fun in the 2023 in a division that is very much up for grabs. This is really cool. Really cool time to be a Panthers fan, too. I mean, you guys can't be that upset for shipping away McCaffrey. Kind of made you get Bryce Daddy Young here. So, Saints getting Kendry. I like to call him Keandre for some reason. I don't know why. Whatever. Miller, running back TCU. Round 3, 71. Saints have Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. But Miller is going to see some touches in this offense. 215-pound back, averaged 6.7 yards per carry over 3 seasons. And he just ran for nearly 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns in 2022. Miller can ski through traffic, weaving in and out of cuts without losing speed. Blah, blah, blah. He is an all-around back, to be honest with you. There's also a current Kamara situation, which could result in a suspension at some point. He pleaded not guilty in March to a felony and misdemeanor charges for battery and after allegedly punching, kicking, and stomping the trifecta a man in Las Vegas during Pro Bowl week. So adding depth to the running back room could be even more important for the Saints at this point. I like this. I've also been high on Fresno State's quarterback Jake Haener for most of the draft cycle and want to acknowledge my guy too. At 6 foot, he's an undersized baller with plus accuracy. And he could develop into a solid backup behind Derek Carr if Winston doesn't return in 24. There's nothing wrong with drafting backup QBs. Now, if you wait, and you wait for my Chargers video, I am a Chargers fan. If you wait for my Chargers video, I'm going to get a little deeper into that. So be patient. I just wanted to give you guys this video pretty early on just because I didn't want you to pay for this. It's not fair. I don't like what these companies are doing. Elijah Cansey to the Bucs. This is a quiet pick, and I'm not too sure why. So the Bucs needed some youth as they reload this roster, and the defensive line isn't what it was a few years ago. So landing the number 2 defensive tackle in the first round should help inject some life into that unit. He had the fastest 40-yard dash for defensive tackle since 2006, which was a 4.67. He is so quick to get off the line of scrimmage and get into blockers, and he has the power in his hands to get to the quarterback. 14.5 sacks and 28.5 tackles for loss over the past 2 seasons. At 281 pounds, he ran that. See, that's insane. Sorry for the squeaky chair, by the way. Cansey's a tweener, so he'll be at his best next to a true nose tackle. And he'll get that with Vita Vea. 347-pound Vita Vea. Okay? That's crazy. They actually led the team in sacks last season with 6.5. So getting a penetrating and versatile guy like Cansey could immediately boost. I mean, guys, Vita Vea and Cansey are insane. Literally insane. Those two together is something you're going to probably have to game plan for. NFC West. Yeah. All right. I love the Cardinals draft. You should see the Arizona Cardinals video later today or tomorrow. Today is Sunday, April 30th. So you should be seeing this video either today or tomorrow. But this was an awesome pick. I loved this pick, and I loved what they did. 2 trades. I mean, come on. First, Arizona moved from number 3 to 12 and added 3 picks, all on day 2 or better, and including a first rounder in 24. Then it jumped back up to 6, swapping firsts, picking up a 3rd, and losing a 2nd and a 5th. I had heard the Cardinals like Johnson, but taking him at 3 was way too high. So they took advantage, slid back, got their guy. This is awesome. The offensive line needed some youth. Kevin Beachum turning 34, and DJ Humphries playing only 8 games last season. In Johnson, Arizona gets an easy moving pass protector with really good striking power at the point of contact. And as a run blocker, his quickness shows up in zone blocking schemes. This is an awesome pick for Arizona. What they did in the draft, man, they fleeced teams. They traded so much. It's just what they did as a Cardinals fan. These next 2-3 years, you guys should be pumped. Plus, you have the Texans first-round pick next year, which can easily be a top 10 pick again. I don't want to say it. It could be a top 10 pick again. Because I'm not going to assume they're going to get out of the top 10 or 15 until they officially do. Los Angeles Rams, Byron Young. Linebacker, Tennessee, round 3, 77. This is going to be a longer video today. My ADHD is kicking in, huh? That's how you guys see me bouncing all over the place. There might not be a team with more needs in the NFL as this roster undergoes a bit of transition. Guys, they sold out and they won a Super Bowl. If you're a Rams fan, you're like, cool. I'm all right with sucking for the next couple of years because we just sold out to win the Super Bowl. Okay? Hitting on the day 2 and 3 picks is going to be important, and I think a lot of prospects in the Rams rookie class will have the chance to start at some point this season. So getting an impact edge rusher such as Young in the 3rd round, massive. He is really good. He has a really explosive first step and closing burst. And it's no surprise that Young lit up the combine with a 4.43 second 40 at 250 pounds, along with a wild 11-foot broad 38 vert. All 3 numbers were first among edge rushers. My nose is bothering me. Young's raw, only 1.5 sacks last season, but he'll be able to develop there. And he's 25 years old. I did not know that, but I think he'll get on the field plenty right away. At very least, as a pass rusher specialist to support Aaron Donald, especially since the Rams don't really have many other options. This Jair Brown pick bothers me so much that the 49ers got him. This dude is a stud from Penn State. I'm from the New Jersey area, so I know a lot about the Penn State, Rutgers, all those programs. This is a stud pick. In the 3rd round. Niners' first pick came at 87, and it was a good one. Brown could be an NFL starter very soon. San Fran has a very, very capable safety duo in... Yeah, I'm not even going to butcher his name. The guy's really good. And Tayshaun Gibson. Okay? But the latter re-signed for just 1 year. And is turning 33. Brown has high-level instincts and versatility to move around the defense as an interchangeable safety. He ran a really disappointing 4.65, which honestly, he doesn't play that slow. So I was really shocked to see that. Picked off 10 passes over the past 2 seasons. Great recognition skills. Brown is aggressive. Always seems to be around the ball. I had Brown at 67 on my board. Todd Mcshay'S did. But I had a feeling he'd be underdrafted. He's going to outplay his draft slot. Brown is an incredibly hard worker who will carve out a role in 49ers defense. And let's be honest, that's crazy value and crazy depth. And it just helps out a defense that the entire NFL knows doesn't really need to get any better. So they did. So that sucks. Jack Smith and the Jigba to Seattle. Getting wide receiver 1 in the draft at pick 20 is awesome. I love Illinois' cornerback Devon Witherspoon's game, but this has to be Smith and Jigba. Seattle landed the top receiver in the class at 20. Literally 3rd option with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. He's going to line up in the slot or outside. I mean, this is crazy. He had 3 games because of a hamstring issue, but he went for 1,600 yards in 21. If he can stay healthy, this kid is nasty. Nasty. He did those numbers with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, which were both first-round talents. So this puts him in a very similar situation with Lockett and Metcalf. So that's what's awesome. Route running is wild. His route tree is very good. Terrific hands, body control, and after the catch ability. This is going to be a dangerous offense. If Geno can repeat what he did last season, and I believe he can. I really believe they can. I'm not too sure if I like... Whatever. I'll get into Seattle's picks when I do their video, but this was a home run pick, man. This was really cool. Finally, getting into the AFC. This is a long one. Dalton Kincaid was people's number 1 tight end, and getting that at number 25 is awesome. Maybe you saw this pick late in round 1 and said, wait, didn't the Bills just extend Dawson Knox on a 4-year deal last September? Yeah, that's true. But Kincaid's going to be a 6'4", 246-pound slot receiver. That's what Kincaid's going to be. Move up from 27 to get Kincaid at 25. Just a couple of picks after the top 4 receivers were selected, giving Josh Allen another weapons. The kid can fly around. He's an offensive nightmare in the slot. I'm going to be honest. If they put him in the slot, he's a nightmare. He was second among FBS tight ends last season in yards, 890 and 8 touchdowns. The Bills will flex him out to give Stephon Diggs some support and let him feast against zone looks where he shows the ability to find open windows. Oof, that was beautiful. I love this pick by the Dolphins. Why? You grab the fastest running back in the draft because, their team isn't fast enough. Devon Kane, running back, Texas A&M in round 3. What a perfect fit this is for Kane and the Dolphins, who just had 4 selections. Despite re-signing Mostert and Jeff Wilson, the Dolphins needed to find a running back in the draft this year to round out a potent offense. This is where the bottom half of the NFL in yards per rush and rushing touchdowns last season Even more telling, Miami was last in the league in next-gen stats, rushing yards over expectation at minus 0.4. Whatever. He's going to be a versatile matchup nightmare for opponents and could pick up chunk plays early and often. He is 5'9", 188 pounds. He never will probably be a 3-down back. This kid's going to be literally Darren Sproles, but he ran a 4.32. He's very good route running, sharp cutting. He'll create, this is crazy. Went for 1,100 yards on the ground last season. Just think about what the hell that they can do with the speed on this offense. Just wild. Patriots is obvious. They got the CB1. Literally, CB1 at pick 17. Getting my number 8 prospect at 17 is fantastic for the Patriots, but this pick also addresses a need and comes after a trade down that netted an additional 4th-round pick. This just masterful work from Coach Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Gonzalez is so good in press coverage, long arms, 4.38, 40, but he may play even faster. He will flip his hips to run with receiver. He's a sticky corner. New England re-signed Jonathan Jones to a 2-year deal, so Gonzalez will line up opposite of him, but he can also flex into the slot when necessary. All the physical traits, and after surrendering 28 passing touchdowns, a bottom 6 number, this is literally the Patriots' home run pick, man. Home run pick. And they followed up with Keion White on day 2. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm really interested in who the Jets will be. Yeah, Tittman. I forgot he went there. Round 2, 43. Probably the number 1 ranked center. Improving the protection for newly acquired Aaron Rodgers was key for the Jets. Jets missed out on the top 4 tackles because the Steelers moved up. They grabbed Will McDonald. With only 1 pick on day 2, they had to address the O-line, and they did with the number 40 prospect and top center. Tittman brings really impressive awareness and the ability to drop an anchor against bull rushers. Jets re-signed Connor McGovern, but he just turned 30 and ranked 24 out of 33 qualified centers. That's rough. Slotting Tittman between Elijah Vera Tucker and Laken Tomlinson will build a wall in the interior. Even if New York still needs long-term answers for the tackle spots, Tittman doesn't even know what it's like to allow a sack. Gave up 0 over the past 3 years. You're not getting better than that, obviously. That's wild. Just wild. And they added a running back to literally complete the trifecta of Breece Hall, Michael Carter, and then they added the running back. Absolutely wild. I think they needed a tackle, but Tittman can play guard as well. This is just a solid pick, solid value, once again. Zay Flowers, love Flowers games, no matter how many times Kuiper tries to claim this is his guy. I've been saying, they're arguing. Come on. Really? Jeff Hafley called him the Energizer Bunny, and it fits. Flowers plays with juice, 4.42 speed, but that's just part of it. Release off the line of scrimmage in a flash, immediately gets separation with a burst. If Flower finds daylight, he's gone. And you bet the Ravens will use him in motion, sweeps, blah, blah, blah. He's there with Odell, Lamar, Mark Andrews, Bateman, Dobbins. Now you got a full unit. Now let's see what Lamar can do, baby. I love this pick as well. I really do. I love this pick as well. But I honestly think their best value is Trenton Simpson in round 3. DJ Turner was an absolute steal for the Bengals in round 2. This was something they needed desperately. The corner out of Michigan ran a 4.26 40. Okay? I'm going to take this hat off. It's bothering me. Ran a 4.26 40. He won't be the biggest corner in the league at 5'11", 178 pounds. And he picked off only 1 pass. But he's going to be a solid starter for Cincy. Why? How are you keeping 4.26 off the field? Okay? Eli Apple left in free agency. Chidobe Awuzie is coming back from a torn ACL. So this definitely was a need. Mike Hilton locking down the slot. Bengals can use Awuzie, Turner, and Cam Taylor-Britt on the outside to lock down receivers to try to help them get back to the Super Bowl. This was an awesome pick. On another note, Purdue receiver Charlie Jones can make an impact as rookie despite the talented receiving core. I like the Chase Brown pick as well. They had a solid draft. They really did. This DJ Turner pick was crazy value. See, people want to hate that I'm loving Cedric Tillman. They want to hate that I'm loving on Cedric Tillman, man. I thought this was a freaking awesome pick for the Browns. For a team that was shut out of the first 2 rounds, I was impressed with the caliber of players the Browns were able to find in the draft. I literally said this. I mean, look at this. Defensive tackle, Zeke Ika, checks off a big need. DeJuan Jones on day 3. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is solid development. And then Whippler at 190. Freaking awesome. But before I list off the entire Cleveland's draft class, I'll get to the best pick, and it was the first one. Tillman. 6'3", 213, has a wide catch radius, not a burner, but savvy route runner. I mean, come on. Body control, wins at contested catches, plays power to break tackles. I mean, this kid was awesome. Cleveland traded for Elijah Moore this offseason, but I was still looking for it to add a receiver behind Amari Cooper. Tillman could quickly become a starter in this offense, especially since he's similar to the type of receiver Deshaun Watson found success with at Clemson. I mean, this is awesome. Donovan Peoples-Jones is also there coming off a good season. Tillman could be a very heavily involved in this offense. This is who I said the Giants should have got. They got Hyatt. I still think it's amazing value, both of these picks, but this is awesome. Steelers, if this isn't Joey Porter Jr., I'm ending this video. Joey Porter Jr., Penn State, round 2, pick 32, first pick in the second round. Porter was 23 on his board. I consistently had Joey Porter Jr. in my mocks going in the first round to the Steelers. So, how did this freaking happen? I still don't know. I'm still scratching my head on how this kid fell out. I'm scratching my head on this, and I'm scratching my head on Nolan Smith. Whatever. With ridiculously long 34-inch arms and great physicality in press coverage, Porter should make an impact early on in his career. His father played there. This is awesome. If there was 1A and 1B favorite picks for the Steelers, I'm going with Wisconsin defensive tackle Keanu Benton. And the other standout. He's a fantastic run defender with a lot of power. And while he's not going to put up big sack numbers as an interior pass rusher, Benton is disruptive. Dude, Steelers love the trenches. Broderick Jones, Benton, and then you have your guy on the outside. Steelers had a really good draft, man. If you saw my other video, Steelers had a solid draft. I mean, yeah, this is going to be obvious. Texans getting Stroud at 2. Yeah, they traded up for Will Anderson at 3. Stroud at 2, you're grabbing your franchise QB. You also grabbed your franchise DN, but whatever. This is awesome. This is awesome. Davis Mills was not the long-term answer. We all knew this, okay? Wait, what the hell is with this hair? This hair's a little bad, huh? Stroud was a QB2 on his board behind Bryce Young, but he's the best pure pocket passer in this class. Yes, we saw signs of his potential as more mobile QB during college football playoff. Dude, if you watch that Georgia game, you know exactly what this kid can do, and it's absurd. He doesn't make many bad decisions, throwing 6 interceptions in each of the past 2 seasons while tossing 40-plus touchdowns. Questions about the supporting cast, though. Dameon Pierce looked great as a rookie. Nico Khan was a bigger target. Mechie's going to return. Robert Woods. Nathaniel Dell I really like. This is really awesome. I love this Josh Downs pick as well. I mean, this is really something. This was a tough one to choose. I love somebody, including Julius Brands. I don't know how you didn't choose Adebaware, Darius Rush. Dude, the Colts aced the draft. They really did. Really did. But pairing Josh Downs with Anthony Richardson, who's got an absolute cannon This is awesome. Okay? The Colts offense could be a lot of fun to watch. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and now Downs from a solid supporting cast for Richardson and or Gardner Minshew. Downs has explosive traits and can change directions in an instant. His instincts in the open field lead him to big play opportunities, though he lacks the second gear to routinely impact the vertical pass game. I think he plays quicker than you actually think. And yeah, his size will limit him against press coverage, but I'm excited to see what he does. He just stretches the field in a different way that these other two receivers can't. So that was the big one here. And honestly, it's just another receiver for them to support the newly addition Anthony Richardson. I mean, come on. I got to get a little more light here. This is bad. Brenton Strange, tight end, Penn State, round 2, number 61. Even though the Jags ended up making 10 picks on day 3, tentatively had Strange circled as their best pick. That's how much I like his game. Possibly the most underrated player in this draft class, and ended up 68 on my board. He ran a 4.7, which is never broke 400 receiving yards. I think this was a reach. I got to be honest. I really thought that this was a reach. I don't know. He's 6'4", 253 pounds. I don't really want to go very, very deep into this one. I genuinely thought that this pick was a reach. I don't agree with him here. Yeah, I mean, this was obvious. Will Levis, first round talent, was supposed to be a top 15 pick. I had Will Levis mocked to the Titans in the first round. Round 2, 33, they traded up. Has a little bit issues of poor decision making, but Ryan Tannehill, who's entering the final year of his contract and has zero guaranteed money remaining, turning 35. Malik Willis there. Levis has got a cannon. Physical traits are there. Just needs some refining. They grabbed Peter Skoronski as well. I love it. I really like how the Titans navigated the board and landed a top 4 quarterback almost 30 picks after the other 3 were gone. If Levis cleans up his game, this one could be a steal. Outside of Levis, I really like the Tulane running back, Tajay Spears. I like Tajay Spears complimenting Derrick Henry. This was a steal. This could be the biggest steal of the draft. It's obviously way too early to tell. Let's get to the AFC West. Riley Moss, if you saw this kid's combine, he looked smooth. It's tough to really nail a draft when you have 5 picks and nothing before 63. So, Denver had to trade up to get on Friday night. That pick stood out most to me was Moss, 6'1", 193, cornerback. Pass retain is one. He's obviously going to be CB1. So, whatever. Moss totaled 11 interceptions, 23 pass breakups over his 5 seasons at Iowa. He's a little tight, but he has speed to turn and run with pass catchers. I could see him moving inside a nickel role. Maybe he has kicks back to safety, where Kuiper has him projected. Regardless, Moss has the traits to really help this defense. Their defense is also really good. But, there you go. Riley Moss to them. Wanya Morris to the Chiefs fills a massive hole for them. Chiefs' 2 starting offensive tackles from the 2022 Super Bowl roster are gone. In comes Juwan Taylor, and Lucas Niang is getting promotion to starting gig. Kansas City needed depth. Chief offensive line paced the league in pass block win rate. It's not the same unit of 2023. All right. To be clear, Morris is not a finished product, same shit. He falls off the block when his pads rise and his angles climb the second level. 6'5", 307 pound, 35+ inch arms. This pick is all about upside. Chiefs have taken mid to late round swings on offensive linemen in recent years and hit some home runs, including 6th round Trey Smith. So all in for taking this prospect. Hey, listen. If this kid eventually starts, getting a starter tackle in the 3rd round is an absolute home run pick. This was obvious. Guys, if you followed me, I actually won money on this. Day 2, I put money on Michael Mayer to go to the Raiders, and when I saw them traded up, I knew this was the pick. Okay? This was awesome. Mayer was number 19 on his board. Didn't go in the first round. Talk about a high floor prospect. This is a home run pick for the Raiders, and it kills me to say it, because this is a Darren Waller replacement. Literally Darren Waller replacement. It's freaking awesome. I can see him moving around quite a bit in Las Vegas, stacking as the wide tight end or flexing out to beat defensive backs with his precise routes and size advantage. The Raiders came into the draft with 12 picks, tied for the most in the league, and you had to figure out one of them would be used on a tight end after they moved on from Waller. Disappointing seasons from Hooper and Howard, Jimmy G, and boom, they got another receiving threat. Really confused why they didn't address offensive line. We'll go into that into a video. But the Los Angeles Chargers as the last team that I will be covering, of course, my team. So here we go. Henley, interior linebacker, Washington State, round 3, pick 85. Chargers allowed 5.4 yards per carry last season, which was the worst in the NFL. But they waited until round 6 to draft the defensive tackle. Unless you consider second round Tuli Tuipulotu as an interior option, probably not. For what it's worth, though, they did address the run game at the second level, using a third round on my 75th overall prospect and 4th ranked interior linebacker. Trenton Simpson was still on the board, but he was undersized. So is this kid, but whatever. He is small for the position at 6'1" and 225, but Henley has really good instincts and burst. He can make plays in the backfield, 9 tackles for loss last season, and has the range to run down ball carriers. Once he gets in their neighborhood, he's a wrap-up tackler who uses his 33-inch arm length to lasso opponents. Watching his tape, Henley can hang with running backs and tight ends in coverage, but the pass rush element of his game isn't quite there yet. Drew Tranquill moved on to Kansas City. Kenneth Murray, they're declining his 5th-year option. And you got 31-year-old Eric Kendricks up the middle. He should be able to learn from Eric Kendricks. Henley should provide immediate depth, and I honestly think he's probably going to take over Kenneth Murray's job. I'll round out my annual best picks columns with one more name for Los Angeles, a specialist. TCU receiver Darius Davis is the most dangerous return man in this class and could be taking kicks back as a rookie. Guys, wow, this was a long video today. Here is ESPN Plus Todd McShay article I'm giving you guys for free, so you better show the love back. If you came in and stayed through this entire video, God bless you, okay? Wow, this was a long one. Hope you saw your team on here. Hope you stayed for some other teams. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.